Hello again, and welcome back to all of you doers, movers, and shakers. I am Edie, also known as the Community Lady, and I'm here sharing tips and general things I've learned over my past 20 plus years working in the community and creating and running nonprofit organizations. We are still debunking myths about the grant writing / grant management process. Myth number 5. When you accept a grant award, the funder controls your program. Have you ever heard that? Well, I've often heard the statement from people, some of them have never even attempted to write a grant or even tried to understand the grant writing process. Also, there are organizations whose funds are solely generated through individual donations, which we talked about in one of the earlier videos, that is individual donations comprises the highest amount of dollars given to nonprofit organizations, individual donations. But they also are supported through fees for service or for participant fees. Think about your little leagues, where it's self-pay. You have to pay for your uniform. Your young people and families may help out in raising funds through collective fundraising, but for the most part, you will not find any grant funds supporting that organization or that program because someone might believe that they may lose control. I also hear this myth a lot in working with faith-based partners, which is kind of interesting. Let's see what else I wanted to add today. I think we've kind of already gone over that there really are people who want nothing to do with the receipt of grant funds, especially if they're government dollars. And also if the organization isn't accustomed to being accountable to any external funder who might just question the validity of the program delivery or suggest improvements. And that, of course, is everyone's right, to accept grant funds or not to accept grant funds. Let's see if we can talk this through just a little and provide a little more clarity. So just as there are a broad range of community and faith-based organizations, there's also a broad range of funders. If we recall the factors governing restricted and unrestricted grant funds, remember that unrestricted grant funds can support any nonprofit's legal expense in that state, okay? And it's very possible that a funder who awards unrestricted funds may only want the grantee to provide an annual report describing how those funds were used. Other funders may not want any report at all. They've given you the money, they've written it off. Okay, see you later, or see you next year, or maybe it's a one-time funding, who knows. Conversely, funders who award restricted funds may require monthly progress reports. So, what does that say to us? It says that we should research potential funders. All money ain't good money. Just says me. That's just it. It is what it is. Researching funders offers insights into the funders' giving patterns. You can look at how many grant awards the funders have given. You can look at who they typically award, the size of those awards. And if you prefer, you can even take things a step further. You can look at who sits on their board. You can look at the names of their key personnel as well, so that you can then do your own research into the background of those leaders or the entire organization. Google it. So just as the funders have the right to evaluate our grant applications, excuse me, as they consider grant requests, we, you and I, we also have the right to evaluate the funder, including the criteria the funder sets prior to us accepting a grant award or even applying for the grant. Recently, I've read about a nonprofit organization, which I won't disclose the names, but this happens, and it's happening more often than not in our current climate. But the organization actually declined a 6-figure grant award because they were not in alignment with the funders' political views. So that's something that you have always had the right to do. Excuse me. So basically, if you think about it, they said to this funder, I found out who you were, what you believe, or what you did, and we don't want your money. We don't want any parts of you. We can't be bought, and we'd rather not be associated with you. Here's your money back. So that's what they said. I'm embellishing, of course, but that's what they said in my head. Anyway, in my experience, however, funders have never controlled any of the programs that I have written. They have, however, monitored the programs just to ensure that we're doing what we said we were going to do. After all, we described the program in our grant application, we established the program deliverables, and we even outlined how the program would be measured or evaluated. We indicated the numbers we would serve, we provided survey data, and we gave personal stories of past success and a promise of future success. So if you accept any funders' grant monies, you may have to accommodate pop-up site visits. You may have to write monthly reports and submit actual budget expenditures as often as requested. But again, to me, that doesn't equate to controlling your program. The external monitoring, it really ensures that our organizations are held accountable to promote the well-being of the communities that we serve. And then, of course, we have to also be accountable for the funds that were awarded to us to further the organizational goals, improve the community health, make everything better, create equity, all the good stuff that we are doing out there. Once you've defined your program and the manner in which you are operating your program, what you're going to do, how you're going to do it, you will easily identify several potential funders. You don't have to go with a funder who's making, in your opinion, absurd requests or who you're not in alignment with. Fortunately or unfortunately, many of the symptoms that we see in underserved communities fall into similar categories. So many of us are probably doing programs like mentoring, dealing with the symptoms of unemployment, violence, wayward youth, workforce development issues, no places for young people to go, no room for youth advocacy, no after-school programs or out-of-school programs. Your completed proposal for any of these very much-needed programs will align with a broad range of funders. Below, I will include a link to GuideStar. This is where you can research the nonprofit foundations that issue grants. When you may want to visit any corporations who are providing grants, you can visit their websites and learn more about the leaders of the company if you like. And again, you can also Google any board members to ensure that their social media accounts, reflect an alignment with your organization's values, with your mission, with your vision, with your program goals and objectives. Okay? All right. So today's challenge. Create a list of at least 10 grant funders that align with your organization's mission, your goal, your program, your vision, all of that good stuff. Excuse me. May you have tremendous success. I wish you all the best. As always, thank you for watching. This video actually concludes my very first series, so I'm excited. Don't forget to subscribe below. Until next time, keep doing, keep moving, and keep shaking things up in your community. Thanks for watching. Peace.
Working in community, no place I'd rather be. Working in community, uplifting, loving, setting free. Don't know where.